My name is Brook Linder. I'm a director based in Los Angeles.
Hit it.
I'm not from LA, I'm from Springfield, Missouri. I grew up in Springfield making music videos, little Lego movies, little action movies, some skate. My brother worked at Best Buy and he brought home one of the first digital video cameras, and it was right around the time that Apple came out with iMovie, and it was like I was made for that. It was perfect timing. At that time, there was this band that got signed to a label called Polyvinyl Records, and the band is called Someone Still Loves You, Boris Yeltsin, and we kind of hooked up and made music videos for a minute when I was just finishing high school. It was an early experience of being put in a box and having to really think your way out of it, and I think we did. I love those videos. I didn't know what was possible. I didn't know how to edit a music video. I didn't know what a music video, I've seen all of Spike Jonze videos and stuff, but I didn't even know what anything was supposed to be. And I just wanted to like make something and then show it to everyone at the theater and have them think it was cool. That was like the goal. I like pop culture myths. That's what I'm really into. I got the Place to Bury Strangers track, and they were doing a lot of stuff with, guitar effects rigs that they were building in their warehouse. I wanted it to be kind of like a haunted mixtape, kind of like a lo-fi version of the tape from The Ring, where you would play it and it would have this kind of spooky quality to it, but there would be something else happening in your brain. When I hit that idea with them, that was like kind of a moment that kind of defined what I was going to be into forever, and I still come back to that. There's no connection left in your head. I wanted to mix hard sci-fi like space with the haunted house. That was a difficult edit because, we had a vibe. We'd gotten the astronaut, we'd gotten the location. The genres had successfully combined in a visual way, but there was not a conceptual payoff. And I think it's because I confused that with having an actual concept. But I've only made that mistake one other time, and I'm pretty careful about that now. It was a good learning experience. The other thing about the Silhouettes video was that it started my obsession with heads-up displays and fake computer interfaces. And my favorite part of most movies, if they're in the realm and they have this in it, like Mission Impossible or any space movie, my favorite part of them is always the computer screens. I have a secret Instagram account that's only computer screens from movies, and I found some really good ones. You come and see, give it back to haunted, give it back to real good. The Operators video for True is my favorite thing I've ever made. In spy movies or heist movies, there's always a montage where everyone's doing something. I was wondering if I stripped back all of the context of characters and exact, what's in the briefcase, if I took that away from you, and I was wondering how far I could pull back the information, but then have the clip, push these clips together and let you, it's like a 500-piece puzzle, and you have 100 pieces. So I was wondering how far I could pull back and have you still know kind of what's going on. So then the filmmaking part of it is just feeding that idea. It's like this very natural thing. Okay, what are things we can do to let people know what we're watching? Slow zooms, trench coats, silhouettes, and you don't need subtitles. You don't need a text card telling you what this is. That's what genre can do for you, is get people all on the same page, and then you try and trick them, and they can enjoy the ride. When I first moved to LA for the first 2 years, I was an editor, and I edited a lot of videos for the director Grant Singer, and he completely redefined how I approached editing a video. He would almost work against the obvious cuts in a song and let movement dictate the edit. I usually think fast songs need slow videos, slow songs need fast videos. Now that I'm not so afraid of footage and what I'm doing, I'm okay with letting a song live. Trent wanted the audience to see a perspective that they wouldn't normally get. The show looks psychotic. It's insane. There's smoke and wind. It's complete chaos. They're running around. It's a madhouse. And the only way to really capture the energy was going to have to be on stage. I would shoot the same song, over and over and over again. Right now, I can feel exactly what I would do. I had it just completely timed out every night. I would enter in from the right and the back, and it starts with this weird little synth swelling thing, and there's a small light that always goes on Atticus, and I would go over, dip that, and then the drums kick in, and I'd run over the drums, and Trent would usually come back, and eventually you just duck, because that's coming over here, and you step over here, and you duck around over here, and this guy's gonna step out over here, and he's gonna go down with the microphone like this, and I could do it right now. I could do it with my eyes closed, which it's a good thing that I could do it with my eyes closed, because often it was pitch black in there. I was in a scenario with Spoon where Britt wasn't really going to be around. We had him for a couple of hours, and so it was honestly like, what do you do with someone against a white psych in a couple of hours? A fun concept for a musician might be have a photo shoot, and they look great, but the photo editor is stoned or something, or bored, really bored, right? And so they start playing with it, and it kind of spirals out of control. Then he was really he was concerned with how this was going to go. Like, he was like, what are you going to turn me into, But he was excited about the idea. And we worked so hard on that. Frances, the producer, she really pulled it together. We had a lot of people, a lot of animators. And as far as like allusions to celebrity and the darker side of, vanity and, that stuff is sort of inherent, but I think a little boring. I mean, it's really just a fun kind of creepy video.
It's been, believe it or not, yeah, I guess it's been like 17 years or something nearly. It's a long time.
I've made a couple of doc profiles on artists. I made one for Grimes a couple years ago.
So much of my music is just like against like the people who are trying to take it away from me.
And it can be scary because I like genres and I want to have everything dialed in, and I want to make a movie that's like this and this and this, but I learned kind of not to squeeze so tight onto it, and you know, if this is truly about them, then kind of take a step back and let what they're giving you kind of dictate the movie that you're making.
I'm not going to try to do that. No, it doesn't work.
We can't dress you up. We've talked about endlessly.
No, it doesn't work.
Like we can't put you in costume,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
He's interesting. Just turn the camera on. You know, I mean, we went to play tennis. That's like my favorite thing I've ever shot is him playing tennis. That is it. That's it. You know, I feel like we didn't work that hard. We went up for 3 days, hung out with him, shot a couple scenes, and that's one of my favorite things we've ever made.
Most of us are just down here in our basements, just dreaming up stuff.
It was like my list of no's for him was like a mile long. It was like not putting him in a suit, no fake movie, no like musical thing. We can't do that. It was like the list of no's was crazy. It was like we left with nothing. And then I just really, it was just kind of like, let's just shoot him.
I write songs all the time, but I wouldn't, like, I'm beyond just like getting through stuff or putting stuff out because of some sort of compulsion of creativity. I mean, I just try to make it interesting for myself, right?
I worry now that I won't know what to do with the money. If I had a huge budget, I wouldn't know what to do with it. I'm so used to trying to pull the magic trick off, you know. I'm so used to working hard to make you just see this tiny little thing, but it's, you know, it's a space cave on whatever, but really it's just my apartment and it's all, you know, paper mache or whatever. I love that part of it. I love being scrappy, and that's where I came from. You know, my friend Greg and I, we were in Missouri making short films and making weird little movies out of nothing. I'm still doing that, you know, 20 years later, and I hope to be doing it in 20 years.